press this, and we start recording to say hello to... What the... Wait, what? Why is that? Oh. Crap. Okay. This might... Uh-oh. Wait. Okay, there we go. Think we're good now. Yeah, cool. You went to your sister's 18th, so you spent 3 hours in a room full of high school girls. Oh, no. That is very unfortunate.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, no.
Jump scare!
Oh, I see you're told to call you short.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not happy. But
It's a little shorter.
This is the thing is that it does not exist. Working variant, quote unquote working variant, is completely errored out. So that makes me sad. I'll have to talk to Oracle about that, but that's fine.
We got about 20 minutes.
Actually, that's a really solid idea.
Trying to think if there's any.
Where the fuck is...
Wait a
So I
minute.
have that,
There's
or I
anything
have...
pressing.
I
At least
beg to
nothing that I
remember
can
this
think
guy.
Yeah, it's just
this
if
guy.
you want to
Here, I'll help.
let people
I mean,
ask questions.
I mean, people
before-
will
Probably
ask.
this guy would be
People
better.
will ask
Mhm.
for announcements anyways.
Oh my god.
The only reason this
This
one
one.
is poor is because it does have effects on it,
Yeah.
but I just won't use
I
those.
have a great
Yeah,
Does this help?
you won't be able to
What?
use them.
Looks like an ant.
Exactly.
Does this help figure out who that was?
And I'll just
No,
walk
I
around
know
the
the previous
Oh,
guy.
this one. Yeah.
No, I was talking about the previous guy. I know the previous guy. That's straight from fucking Camp Guard.
Yeah, a broken as fuck 1.0 version of the character.
Okay.
How you doing, Emo?
Like 3 separate times, and I said no each time because absolutely the fuck not.
I'm down.
What? Huh?
Yeah, no,
The people who are surrounding us.
I know.
I'm here, but
No.
I have no idea what conversations are going on at the moment.
No.
Eh,
TLDR. Her husband was someone that I know. Someone.
Mostly enjoy the setting.
And I don't really want to do that kind of RP anymore.
If you want to help.
Okay.
Then leave the son alone and to die.
Well, good to see you regardless, Chaos Guy.
At that point.
No,
Yeah,
no
I am
Beatrice
here
yet,
now, I
right?
suppose. No.
Not allowed.
I might as well
The
do
surveys
this
have to
more.
have a council person.
Fair enough.
That's what the second or third one's for.
Hopefully soon.
True.
We do have 3 models. One of them will have
Yeah, I just need to have like a meeting or two and then finish fixing portions of the model that are broken.
clone model and then
Okay.
come to
I'll message you at some point still so we can have a little chat
Can't
soon
believe the
about
dog's gonna
Yeah, for
die.
sure.
about the stuff.
Okay.
Probably I guess sometime this week. So
But that's usually after.
there's nothing pressing about nothing impressing about it.
For the morning as well, Ryan. Since I believe the shopkeep is actually out of town.
I mean, I can't send you to a locked door.
I can bust you.
Oh, you can.
I could, and then you just.
It'd be funny.
Malcolm, good.
Or you could ask if someone,
Get the
like a
juice.
temper person, can be generated to just get the
He
stuff.
hates raisins. It's been confirmed.
What? In character or out of character?
I don't think I've tried raisins too much to have an opinion on them.
I've never.
Raisins are just the
Really?
best. They're really.
He hasn't found his raisin bachelor.
Damn shame.
I'm going to murder.
2 halves of a grape.
There's plenty of time for that with research.
School's in 15 minutes.
Only one grape.
I was like, all right, you guys got the nat 1. Okay, now you're actually gonna die.
Kind of. I think they were.
Yeah, Hickory's dead now. That's how it goes.
It's you know,
Damn shame.
you mess with the
Mix the
artifacts.
purple
That's what you
powder
get.
with the green powder, and
Yeah, it's just all downhill from there.
It's just equivalent of like bleach pneumonia. Just.
I'm not gonna ask for like a generated person.
Was it bleach and vinegar do that too? I think,
it's
right?
only-
Might
if
have
it's
people play their
just to
characters.
facilitate-
Yeah.
If it's
Something like
just to
that.
facilitate an
It
action.
basically creates
for this
mustard
morning,
gas.
That's up to them if they want to or not. You can ask.
Although I'm not sure if you two would be
Otherwise,
affected
it's
by
just.
gas.
Otherwise, we just say have
I mean,
enough.
she's
That's-
drank bleach at this point,
See whether or
so.
not you want to try and do something and bring like 2 or 3 people with you.
Everyone, please start gathering up at the front. Please start gathering up at the front.
Oakley dokley.
Yeah, no, that's a
That also makes me happy. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I need to. If we're doing that, I need to get my.
No, I'm a dog.
What the dog doing? You're a dog chasing the
Awa,
boys.
awa.
You said the cursed word.
Said the words. Group hell, everybody. You know?
Oh god, our dog's gonna get set off. Don't do it. He said to here.
I heard him move. Don't you dare.
Yes, I traverse time and space to be here.
I use Lewis Corpus to summon Nyx.
I will fight you, Ari. I will find you.
What do you? I'm
I
gonna
see a
just
number
go
of
some
people
scattered
scattered about.
to
We're about
you.
to do announcements. Please gather up.
Do they not want to roleplay?
No.
I don't want to roleplay.
Announcements in our roleplay. I can't believe it.
They don't realize that the Eden is about to get lost. They need to get over here.
Get lost,
You
Eden.
can't just say that, Rory.
Yes, I can.
Beautiful. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and start with first announcements.
Oh boy!
Firstly, we will be having our team assignments today, so that'll be fun for you guys. That'll be discussed in character.
Oh boy.
The mission. In advance of the mission, we'll let you guys know that we do intend for everyone to at some point be playing NPCs, and we will be swapping between people playing wardens and people playing NPCs for the other wardens. That's both for model control, because having 40 people at the same time in combat models sounds like a bad idea, and also just so we can regulate the battlefield a little bit better. So we'll be doing that a bit. Ahead of that, for those who are playing APCs where we actually start the mission arc, unfortunately, we're going to be in the Wastelands. There's not going to be a lot of ability to be talking characters, but we will have a lot of combat and a lot of story stuff. So if you guys want to join us, we will have some roles for you guys, potentially for lore stuff. So we'll go over with you guys before we actually begin. For today, there are no other announcements, so if you guys have any specific personal questions, as always, you can meet me over there. Otherwise, go to your places, and we'll be starting here in about 10
The
minutes.
subway stuff.
I've seen this one before. It's a classic.
Aye. The fuck did you do to yourself?
Ah, this boy.
She had a procedure. Ask Clink and Reginald. Unfortunately, I don't think either are there today.
I thought you
She
ran
had
too
surgery.
fast into a fucking mountain.
Not today, no, not this time. She did. I mean, she has run into things since then, but it's okay. It's fine, anyway, it's fine.
Hello.
Can you believe these people?
I mean, they can't run into stuff if they can't run. We've solved the problem.
you know what? You're fair. What's up, Lich?
Cannot run, cannot hide. Hello.
Alright, well. I guess we'll see what happens. Did you check the translation channel? We got a new
The what?
bit.
Yeah, let me see.
Like, not like an hour ago. Nothing too consequential, but just so you know.
Is this your visitor? So just think of a city that she's coming from.
Like, this just kind of lines up with stuff that we sort of assumed already.
Okay.
It just says last playback. We didn't get a playback.
Wait, what?
And the last thing is communication link established with prime room block beginning playback of last recorded message.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's all we got for now.
Okay.
So, nothing major, just like.
Nowhere to go.
Okay, that's a thing. All right.
Okay.
See you in there.
We got the equivalent of the answering machine.
Basically. More to come.
Ooh.
They're not here today. Alrighty. So just to let you guys know, I will be popping into this every now and then because I want to see the score. Anywho. Welcome in. I think I want to say this is the third week of the festival, or is it the last week of the festival? I'm not sure. I think it's the third week. So we have one more festival week left. I would expect that today is like when some festival stuff will actually begin to really show. And then next week, I think, is the last actual festival day. So we'll see how much we got going on. I particularly don't have anything really pressing to do today. I don't really have anyone to have conversations with, so we're just gonna do our thing, I guess, and see what happens. It might be one of those days where I dip out a little bit early, depending on you know, events and what's going on. You know, I hope things pop up. They usually do, but if we're in here for a couple of hours and just nothing has really happened, you know, we might run around for like another little bit invisible and see what people are up to. I don't know. Maybe like Doom Guy is fine sometimes, but maybe I just want to do something else character-wise. So I have something to do. During not pastimes. But, like, not someone important enough that they have to be around all the time. Like, Doomsayer is like a, you know, 20 to 30 minute little at most, right? And obviously won't do a student, but if we wanted to do another, like, you know, APC-esque, I don't know what we'd do. Like, what kind of profession would we want to have? If, if we wanted an alternate character. The score. Okay, still 3-0. Okay. I don't know. What do you got? Do you guys? Because I'm all for playing like a slightly antagonistic character, but not like, you know, a supervillain. Not somebody they have to like take care of or whatever. I don't know what that'd be. It doesn't have to be an antagonistic character either, you know. Just could be somebody else. But like what? I am not certain. You guys have anything you'd want to see? Anything you can think that's kind of missing from the town? We already got, like, mobster types, right? We already got some press. I think, like, having, like, a radio person wouldn't be bad. My chat's not fucking up right. Okay. But I also don't know, like...
Everyone, you have 5 minutes until RP starts. Please get in your places. You have 5 minutes.
I also don't know what, like, that would be on, like, a day-to-day thing, because we can't really... like, just be in everyone's ears and, like, I don't know. So I don't think that would work out very well. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to do though, which is kind of the reason why I haven't done anything, right? But I also don't want to make something that would be so inconsequential that, like, nobody would really pay attention to them. Because otherwise, like, you know, being like a chef or something like that wouldn't be bad. But it's just like, what would be, other than existing, what would they do? And, like, what would their interaction really be? Might be fun to do, like, a private detective. Because we got... But, like, once again, what would that every day be like? What would they be investigating? Because that would amount to needing other people needing to come in. Yeah, I was thinking like a noir type person, but once it, like, who would that be for, right? Like, who in the town would use that? Because the candidates wouldn't, right? Like, they'd really have no reason to. I feel like I would need, like, something written up that he would already be doing. Right, but my point is, I don't want to, like, if I make another character, right? I don't want it to be, like, I want them to always have something to kind of do or be. Actually, you know what not be bad? What might not be bad is, like, maybe a black market dealer / smuggler type. Because I don't think we really have anyone like that. I mean, obviously the Cabrillos, I know we'll go in a sec. Obviously the Cabrillos sort of do stuff with that. But, like, they might not have their own people. And it would be an unaffiliated person, so just somebody who's more adept at working between cities and, you know, bribing caravans, stuff like that. I might work that angle. An ex-warden that does under the table trading. That would give some connections. Doesn't need to necessarily be ex-warden. Could be just like ex-military as well. Wait, is this? Oh, that's weird. Did my viewpoint got fucked? Huh. Okay. So, all right. Interesting. But even that's not doesn't necessarily need to be. I might work that angle. Probably one that would also potentially be like an information broker type deal. I like that. I like that. But he's as likely to sell you out as he is to help you. Very mercenary style, whoever pays the most. Okay. I might do something with that. Because I just, like, I noticed that, like, Yeah, sometimes there is a lot of stuff for me to do as Paz, but there's a lot of times when there's not a lot for me to do as Paz. And that would help keep me engaged in the things that are in the town in general.
I'm sorry. I appreciate it.
Excuse me.
Hello. You didn't catch Harry's. Fuck.
I'm dead.
Good morning, guys.
I'm trying to catch them before.
Did I come at a wrong time?
I have not sensed it.
I'm dead forever.
Goodbye.
Clear the road.
Look at that. He died so
Good
he
morning.
vanished.
Good morning.
Ah, are you saluting them, what it?
Oh, sorry.
Greetings.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Look at him go.
I can't pretend that didn't happen.
Alright.
Take this to my grave.
I didn't die. I died. I died. Alright, I died
No, you
already.
didn't. Don't touch me.
Okay.
I see it is quite lively out here today.
A little bit. We have a little fun.
Little shenanigans, yes.
You know. You gotta get up to some now and then.
What's the point of life if not to enjoy it?
Morning, Shavik. Doing just fine. Besides my right arm slightly acting up.
Another just can tell you it's old blues.
I mean, as far as I know, I don't have any fucking orders. I can do whatever the hell I want right now.
I will not. I will refrain.
I'm.
Would you like some ice with that to keep it cooler for longer?
No.
You guys.
Yes, every morning, every single person goes to the bakery.
Yep. The poor tavern. If you're gonna run them out of business.
They don't open up in the morning. Otherwise, I'd go there because one currency. For the what?
So that, yeah, so that guy,
Don't start your day without some fresh juice. It's the best way to start your day. Really gets you in the mood. Gets you more going than coffee. I promise you that.
maybe later.
All right, I'll be here.
Very good.
Morning, Paz.
Morning. So, yeah, I might need to let him know. The guy who was buying the juice there, he's using the same model that I'd used as my character from the first miniseries who, you know, died. So,
Hell, most members use a crank anyway.
Morning.
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 I think we'll what we'll do is we'll sit down over here, and if because I don't want to go down there and then restart if Iku does show up. So we're gonna sit here for a little bit. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna be like, hey, you know, you're free to use it. Just to let you know, this guy did die, and there might be like a couple of people who might be like, you look familiar, but I also think most of everyone died, so maybe it doesn't matter. Commercials are in progress every time. Just want to see the score. You know what? I should just open up an actual tab for that instead of looking at that.
He might have gotten hurt in a diving accident, going for like pens or something.
It's a 49ers game. I want to watch it, but also I don't want to watch it. Because we haven't been having the greatest of season with all of our injuries, so... I haven't done a good Paz bench sitting in a while. We'll do a nice little Paz bench sitting. While we formulate a potential character. So what kind of things would be sold and bought through black market? I assume probably weaponry. I don't want to make too many illegal stuff. So it'd be more it'd be more of small interesting trinkets that might actually be pre-calamity. I mean, that could be like a small part of it. But I'm thinking more like Like, what sort of stuff would be potentially, like, tariffed or taxed, right? That people would want to smuggle in to this town.
Alright, who's this dead motherfucker?
Foods, exotic pets, potentially. I could see that being a trade. Obviously, information would be a big one, but that's not. I think information will be more. On the case basis. I could see like liquor being one of those things. Some stuff that like goods that get regulated. Yeah, rare wines. And then really like if you think about it, like any stolen items. Either coming in or going out. I'd have to find out. I'd have to find out how much like drugs are regulated. Like how illegal is it? You know, because I know that like in the 1900s, like opium dens were just like a thing, right? Like a widely accepted thing. So I don't know in this world how hard drugs are viewed.
Suppose that's his job. Morning. Morning, sir. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, sir. Good morning.
Mr. Paz?
I don't know if Iku didn't see us.
Mr. Pez? Are you okay, sir?
I just got the prize back in my mouth. I've been from among. Mất mê lên. Mama,
yes, sir.
pen there, one pen minute.
Right. Do you have your teeth with you, sir?
Got my toofs. In there and is it morning already?
Yes, sir.
Did I wake up already?
I think so, sir.
And you are Simone.
Simon?
Simon.
Yes, sir.
Do I know a Simon? I know a Rosalie. I know a shampoo. I knew a crystal. And a pancake. And waffle. Do I know assignment? Assignment? Is that you're an assignment?
The same as before, sir.
You're an assignment as before. What assignment is that?
I'm getting everything together for the expedition.
Expedition? We're going on an expedition?
Yes, sir.
Today?
No, sir. In a few weeks.
What day is it? Now.
I forget what the plan was for today.
Do I see a couple of mice, Simon? Really big mice.
That's Hickory and Dickory.
Did they run up the damn clock or what?
I don't know, but I'm assuming they finished their deliveries today.
What the hell are mice delivering?
Mostly stuff from the bakery.
There's a bakery?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Sounds delicious. Did they just open or something?
No, they've been around for a while.
Ah.
They are doing coffee cake and matcha cookies today.
Ah, okay. I have no idea what those are, but I heard a bell. I think it's time. I have to get to class.
Yes, sir.
They're supposed to teach us about Magibeasts today. About their types and... Oh, wait, did I learn that already? Maybe it was about runes.
Is it... You mean last week's class, or
Maybe...
is that class continuing today?
Ah. You should ask Jeremiah about that one. He's the smart one in our class.
I couldn't let it show.
I wanted to be. Morning, Paz.
Ah!
Say good morning.
Morning, instructor. Oh, advisor. Sorry.
Ah, you must be the new kids. I thought we were getting a few of them in today. Oh, yes.
Otherwise, I have Braggy's order from Jez of macarons, and I don't know where he's at.
Is that normal for him just waking up?
There seems to be a lot of new kids today. Where's Jeremiah? He was supposed to spar today. Still can't handle this core.
Is he okay?
Did they add a couple of floors to the building?
Napping on the bench.
It seems much larger.
Longer than normal.
Yeah.
I see.
Tradition is tradition.
Morning, Theodore. Morning, instructor.
Good morning.
Kind of it. Good morning.
See the cool people do it. He's not cool.
I can't do it, Theodore. I would accidentally shock you, and I don't want to do that.
My skin is so insulated you cannot do anything. Good morning. Good morning.
It's very alarming.
Morning, Theodore.
I got you. Good morning. Oh, that's. There you go.
Paz.
Good morning.
Ah!
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. Such a
Good morning.
sigma.
Is it? There's a lot of new kids today, aren't there? Wait.
I hope you're having a good morning, Paz.
I think I know you, maybe.
Do you want to learn
I know
a Sylvan
you.
word?
Oh, yes, yes.
Paz, are you just waking up, or is there something wrong?
Skippity.
It means cool.
You should tell. You should tell. You should tell.
I was taking a nap in the park
They're skibbity.
a little bit ago.
Bucky, you skibbity.
Yes.
Oh, do you mind from just waking up, right?
I have to get to the classroom.
Anyways, you're
Go
not
say good
skibbity.
morning. Oh no! And I came to say good morning to
Simon,
you
is that
too.
normal?
Well, there are some tall ones in this new class today.
Good morning.
It usually doesn't last as long as I hope your day goes well.
Where the hell is this? I guess the classroom is up there.
Should we go see Reginald?
Ah? Who?
Should we go to the medical wing? You seem a little more out of sorts than normal.
You
I'm concerned.
Professor? You have a thing on your shoulder. Arm.
Yes, I've been professor for instructor for 2 years or so.
Ah. Well, we should get to class.
Well, the students are assembling at the information in the gym. We should
Oh,
head
the
there
new
first.
kids. Okay.
Simon, can you please stay with Paz? I'm going to look for Reginald. Right.
I'm tired. Let him know I'll be there later.
Professor Drea?
Professor Drea? Mr. Reginald?
Reginald has not come in this morning.
Have you seen any of the other medical staff come in?
No. One of the professors has went to the hospital to check.
Oh, that must be... Okay, thank you, Theodore.
No problem.
Mr. Paz?
Ah, Simon! Why are we in the library, Simon?
You came in here to take a nap.
I would never sleep in my own library, Simon! Did the bell ring already?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we should go
Think
and
they're
make sure
already doing
everything's
their
good.
stuff. Are you feeling okay, sir?
I'm bright as rain, Simon!
The second class will be here, going over the remaining Magibeasts that you'll encounter in Vanderhall. Go ahead and form a circle. We'll have the simulacrum set in there.
Yes, sir.
Feel free to get comfortable.
All around up.
A long one.
Huh?
How about we bring the circle over here by the
Stretches away.
I'm just saying. Bring the circle this way. All over.
I don't understand.
Bring it this
Hang on
way.
a sec.
Did we do something wrong?
Yes. What about team?
Bring
This isn't a circle.
I'll let you know who else tonight.
Bring the circle this way. Come on.
Isn't it?
Right now.
Morning dusk!
Morning,
This is a circle.
Ah, it's that sort of day.
You all need to be able to see, and you all need to be able to hear.
Need to be able to see and hear over there.
Form into an ice pod.
I don't think I've seen that one yet.
There are multiple types of pods that you have not encountered yet. This is one of two. This pod has reportedly only ever been encountered in northern regions, where the cities brave the cold. However, from scouting in Vanderhall, we've actually seen them, despite the fact this is not their environment. For these pods, they are completely immune to ice. They are resistant to water, and they are weak to fire. Additionally, they they have the ability to let out breath of frost, despite the fact they don't actually have mouths. But it's the best descriptor.
That is much further than I would have thought.
How quickly
Quite
can
the
it
range,
get
yes.
That is almost as bad as a frostbite.
It is not instant frostbite. However, it builds up quickly, and it restricts your movement.
Oh, wow.
Additionally, it will heavily frost over your arms. The ones with complex mechanical pieces will be more restricted than simple arms. It builds into joints and freezes them over. In terms of behavior, this is one of the few pods that stays at range instead of rushing forward, and will typically associate itself with the acid pods, forming into a combination. From what you know and what you can see about this pod, what are some more of its strengths? Evan.
I see that the cold goes around it as well. I imagine hitting it too many times at the top instead of just killing it at the bottom would lead to your arms being frosted if it's a close range. Swords, spears, stuff like that can freeze over, especially if they have mechanical parts, then they'll get pretty messed up.
Correct. It will begin to frost over everything in contact with it. However, it is not nearly as significant as its actual breath. Ikulila.
Has frost armor?
Not significantly. It is not especially more durable
That is much larger.
than any other sort of pod. It is especially not as armored as a white pod. Kane.
More of a question about its general capability. Looks like it would react poorly to fire, but could be below 0, so perhaps burning it won't work. Is that true?
That more goes into its weaknesses, but yes, burning it does work. It is weak to fire and reacts poorly to it. Dickory.
An answer and a question, if that is appropriate. If it is paired with an acid pod, it can disguise acid pools. A thin layer of ice.
That has been witnessed before, yes.
When it dies, does it shatter? The electric ones discharge, and the fire ones explode.
The inside of it is still flesh. It is cold, but it is not frozen. It does not shatter.
Noted.
So much as it dies like a normal pod.
Oh. Good.
Hickory.
If it is like the other pods, it is able to be on roofs, ceilings, walls. If you do not have someone that has a ranged capability, they can attack you with no repercussions.
Yes. Correct. Additionally, they can build up frost alcoves onto walls and stay in them. It's slightly harder to break through. However, technically, well, usually, they are only built up enough to hold them, and aren't significant armor. From what you know about this, how would you deal with these pods?
Light them the fuck on fire. Ranged fire.
We'll start with Lunala.
Before answering a clarification, are they able to immediately breathe frost again after releasing it, or is there a period that they are unable to do so?
There is a period in between. It expends what mana they have, so they need to build it up again. Similar to a frost breath, despite the fact that they do not breathe.
And to that end, once they have attacked with their frost, they are vulnerable. The only defense they have is the frost around their body that slows down attacks ever so slightly. But if they are able to be directed towards something that can withstand the frost, then others are able to move in without repercussion.
Yes. Typically, one thing that is especially useful for these is shields. Especially just any flat surface without mechanical parts. If it gets access to joints, especially mechanical joints, it will begin to put frost inside them. It'll heavily restrict movement. For arms with multiple combinations or multiple moving parts, it can be difficult to deal with. However, the best way to deal with these pods is like some other pods at range. If you can get it from ever getting close enough, utilizing casters and gunners, you will never have to worry about its actual breath. It's too short-ranged. Talia.
I have an answer and a question. I would imagine as long as you could... You said they're made of flesh on the inside, so... As long as you could break through the ice armor that they appear to have, it should be fairly easy to take care of them, right?
Slight clarification. They do not have ice armor.
Understood.
They have normal pod hide. It's incredibly cooled and will begin to frost over any of your arms or any part of you in contact with them. But it's more similar to a fire pod, not a white pod.
Got it. And, my question.
Bring the heat close to it.
How hot does something have to get to counteract the cold?
It is a teaching aid.
Not to burn it.
If I had my gun right now.
Did you want a comparison? Any normal flame can help. Anything heated in general helps.
Not sure, Phase. I'm sure there'll be a sign somewhere.
Magically durable. It reacts like normal frost.
We got a few weeks until we're actually going, so everyone will be placed somewhere.
You may find yourself more resistant to them as your joints naturally heat up.
That was the main thing my question was about. Thank you.
As long as several aren't hitting you with frost breath at once, that will most likely overwhelm you. Isaac. Then Mira.
When it came to Vanderhall, how often were these seen? Were they seen in groups like this, or were they more single off? I know it's not their normal climate, but are there cooler regions in Vanderhall that we should expect a higher population?
Generally, if you enter an area, with colder and dropping temperatures, you can expect more of them. However, typical pod numbers intermixed with all the other types. They were not especially alone. Pods are not intelligent enough to form formations. However, they do so instinctively through collecting multiple different types together. They don't use this formation intelligently, but they all attack generally around the same time and form combinations unknowingly.
My second question, since I just thought of it, these frost alcoves that you mentioned, are they usually kind of all in one spot with all the other frost pods? Or are they just kind of scattered about on the walls too? If they all kind of meet in one spot, then a fire caster would be ideal, then just detonate the whole pod collective.
I have seen both.
Okay.
Where they are both collected together in large groups and where they are spread out over an entire hallway.
Got it. No more questions.
You had a question, Mira.
Yes, roughly how quickly can someone develop a frostbite if they come into contact with them?
It typically builds exponentially. However, I would say frostbite can be induced in a normal warden 45 seconds to a minute. It would take
You have time now,
multiple
thank you.
rays of frost to actually cause any actual frostbite. However, you will most likely find yourself shaken the first time you are actually hit with it. You will feel like you're being frozen from head to toe.
Prick, fuck out of here. I'll kick you. I'm not afraid. Now you're hauling around. Do it. Hit it. Yeah, burn that sucker. Yeah, that's what I thought, dude.
That is a teaching aid. That is not an actual Magibeast. In case I did not make that clear, these are not Magibeasts. These are not tamed Magibeasts. These are simulacrums.
No such thing.
Doesn't change the fact I want to kick him, sir.
Your enthusiasm is noted.
You got two more questions, sir, behind you.
Lord in the flame will be
Felix and Theo.
instrumental.
Felix.
What is the max speed of these pods? Are they as bouncy as the rest of them?
Similar. There's no real difference.
Shit, okay. Thank you, sir.
However, they will not rush you as other pods will. They will get close enough in order to hit you with the breath, but they will stay outside as the other pods continue to rush you. If you are paying attention, it will be very easy to tell when one is getting in position to hit you.
They still haven't asked whether or not
Scarlet.
An observation
they
that I
affect
noticed.
the
this
other
could be
pods.
a great big environment hazard when it comes to them being in large groups. They could possibly raise the floors, and if we're not careful, we could easily slip.
Yes. If their breath is faced upwards, you won't have to deal with black ice. However, in areas where they have been there for a while, or whenever their breath actually hits the floor, it will form black ice. Your footing will be impacted. Did you have a question, Theodore?
Same question as Felix.
Are there any more questions? If not, turn into a water pod.
Figures.
That's a
Water
terrible
pods
combination.
have never been encountered before now. There are no observations of them. There are no records of them. Until Vanderhall.
Oh.
A new species. I think they feel nice. Makes sense.
They are immune to water. They are resistant to fire. And they are weak to lightning.
Huh.
Turbine. That makes sense.
I would have thought the opposite. I thought they'd be more conductive.
One of you demonstrate the water bolt.
Oh.
They have demonstrated the ability to launch a long-range, piercing projectile that can easily pierce a warded's body, and has only been stopped by.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
Is that?
that's a gunner's job right
Got
there.
some new friends. Thank you very much for the
I would say
follow,
this
Red.
is one of the most dangerous pods I have ever observed.
Yeah, no kidding.
Indeed.
Additionally,
Sounds like a job for me or our team.
they also intuitively understand their abilities, and they will also stay at ranged, at a farther ranged than the ice pods. From what you can see and what you know, what are additional strengths?
Where did you give them the idea?
Cut that out. Walter.
If they're staying at a further range, it shows that they're slightly more intelligent than the other pods.
Slightly. One thing that has been noted with Magibeasts. They do not exactly have intelligence, so much as they have an intuitive understanding of their own abilities. Despite the fact that understanding they need to stay at ranged would require a higher level of intelligence. They don't show any other signs of this intelligence otherwise. Hickory.
Like with the ice pod, it is possible to have them be anywhere around us, above, below, in an alcove, wherever they're able to find a clear shot on us.
Yes. They will. That has been a staple of all pod behavior. And most likely as other pods are additionally discovered, it will continue to remain the same. Felix.
Do I know how often they can fire their bolts of water?
Similar periods to the lightning pod's discharging, or the ice one's breath. It can vary pod per pod. Typically, you have at least 30 seconds.
From that, I guess one of his strengths would be that it's able to get one good clean hit in before you can react to it.
Yes. Additionally, similar to how lightning pods can get extra charged from being around easy sources of lightning or electricity, it can be theorized that their abilities will be enhanced if they find water.
Yeah.
Or if they're around water. It makes it easier for them, and they'll most likely be able to fire faster.
It's good to be cautious.
Dickory.
If there are lightning pods near you, they don't have to hit you to threaten you. If they coat the ground in sync with a discharge, an entire group could be damaged.
Yes. Luckily, the amount of water that they actually use for their bolt is not enough to leave significant patches of water on the floor. It has far more piercing power than mass. It is still moving very quickly and with a lot of force. However, if you are coated with water, you will need to be more careful if there are lightning pods nearby. However, that will also be rare. Remember, these pods are weak to lightning. Other pods may kill them by accident. If you're lucky. Now,
I guess a question and an observation after that. How have they fared when they've seen fire? Do they immediately shoot to put it out?
sometimes. Other times, they just ignore it. Typically, it depends on whatever has their attention on the time.
Then it might be possible that if they're ever around other ice pods, they might try to put out our fires to protect them, since they have this innate instinct, like you said.
I really don't like you.
If you are present enough for them to notice you, they will most likely prioritize you. They do not have enough intelligence to work that kind of formation or strategy. Most likely what you will have to worry about is bolts of water coming through the flames where you can't see, where they may just be firing blindly. Celestia.
That's a question. Can they shoot through clouds of poison? And poison us that way?
Yes.
Oh. My job to
Typically
shoot them
to
then.
actually stop their bolt. Yes. But that goes into weaknesses and strategy.
Aye.
Their bolt will continue through all clouds. Going through a patch of flames may diminish its power, but it will not put it out. From what you know, how would you deal with this pod? Scout.
Shock it from a distance?
Ideally, yes. Implementing that strategy is the harder part. Theodore.
Tanks forward, shields up, charge 'em.
Yes. This is yet again another Magibeast, where shields are especially useful. Professor Dusk.
Rushdown tactics. Specialists who can get in the back line and flank, and/or fighters with agility. Close the distance.
Yes. Additionally,
my thoughts.
If you can get them to not paying attention to your main force.
You know what I just realized?
A single specialist that can get them looking for an enemy near them instead of focusing on people who cannot.
I feel like
protect
Paz would
themselves with a
Naruto run.
long-range piercing bolt.
Like, you know, when he was an actual
Can be
warden,
especially useful.
he would have been Naruto running.
Lunali.
Since their shots are only able to fire in a straight line, utilizing areas that have natural cover or otherwise break their line of sight so they cannot get a proper angle on anybody.
But
yes,
arms probably more like this rather than like that.
If they cannot hit you, they are basically a normal pod. If they don't know where you are due to cover,
Because in that way, if he's running,
line of sight,
he could claw up this way.
You are much safer
as he's passing by stuff.
Mira.
Gunner should provide suppressive fire. Try to keep their attention if a specialist is not available. Keep them busy.
Yes. If you can keep them from focusing, we'll say, then they cannot fire at you. If they cannot fire at you, they can't put a bolt directly through you. As gunners, when facing these, do not completely zone out the world. You will turn it into a sniper versus sniper battle. And there may be one you don't see that is currently firing a bolt toward you while you are attempting to deal with another one. Turn into a jaw shark.
Sorry, a what?
I really don't like
A
that.
what?
That's before you turn into that. Oh my god.
I really don't like that name. They seemed more distractible.
I heard that too. What's that? What's it called?
And I'm more scared that I don't immediately see them.
Struggling with it.
We're supposed to be seeing something?
It must be novel data.
Come on out.
Yes.
Some sort of like underwater creature.
Okay.
Or it's already present.
The suspense is terrifying.
Oh, wow.
Shot, thief, predator of sea, apex.
Oh.
Give it a second. Simulacrum is struggling.
That's fair.
That's not terrifying.
Didn't we talk with Professor Clink about this before?
Yes.
Something about, well, I thought it was a bird. But he said it was a sea creature. May I add something on to the...
What the hell is that?
Please ask your question, Scarlet.
I was just going to add something on to what we were discussing before those. If the water pods are going to be shooting through any type of frost, it will turn into icicles and be even more deadly.
Yes. Additionally, that will lodge inside of you and shatter.
Oh.
This
Okay, that one's still right.
Burrows, huh?
BCs were bad, but this might be the fucking worst one yet.
This is a low C class.
Oh, no.
Its entire body is armored.
Oh, good.
Terrific.
Its jaw crush force is stronger than the Terra Shriekers, and so far the only material able to not be crushed has been Magisteel.
Good.
Great.
They are resistant to water, and they are weak to lightning. As for behavior, they typically do not burrow. They levitate, and they will rush the first thing they see.
Okay.
Levitate?
From what you can see and what you know, what are its strengths? Isaac.
Definitely at speed, which means it can rush down a squad very quickly. If they're not prepared for it, someone's losing a limb, if not their life. And then they're probably out of there as quick as they came.
Yes.
My eye is twitching.
Typically, they will rush, latch onto their jaws, and drag you with it as it attempts to completely bite through you, taking you out of your formation.
I think I just haven't been getting. Whenever my eye twitches, I'm like, I just have not been getting enough sleep. There's a good chance that I might just bounce out after all this stuff. Try to get caught up on some sleep tonight.
Would work directly on the head. Most of it seems like it would either bounce off or
Hey, nice.
not really
That's more like it.
work in redirecting it depending on its speed.
Yes, unless you have significant mass to your arms, redirecting it during a rush is difficult. Lunali.
Based off the movements it did earlier, it also can serve as an ambush predator, as it can perform dives and hide somewhere out of sight even below the surface.
Yes. Almost as if in an aquatic environment. They can float behind anything or in any alcove. Typically, just waiting. Sometimes some of them are more active and will just simply roam, looking for something to eat.
People in the bleachers are cooked. Look at them. Tiny ones been back there the whole time.
Marcus.
Completely surrounded.
I know you said this thing was armored, but just to get it out of the way, the underside seems different in what it's made out of. Is that also armored, or does it have pod rules?
It is also armored. However, it is less armored than its harder outer shell.
Good. And do you think high-impact forms of elements will be good enough to smash through the armor, like Earth potentially?
High impact is a good way to deal with this, yes. However, the best element is lightning.
Yeah, it's lightning. I know.
Degree.
With the horn-like protrusions on its jaw, even if you dodge the jaws, it can knock you over.
Yes. Quiet. Typically, its behavior is that it will rush through. If it fails, it will continue, gain distance, reorient, and rush again, so that it can build up speed. That is the limit of its intelligence. However, it will just simply rush directly into your formation with significant force. Scarlet.
If you were to be grabbed by one of these things, would going for the eyes be your best bet?
The eyes and the jaw are also weak points. The inside of its mouth is not armored.
That's good.
Got that at least.
It just means a narrow opening.
Well, at least I know what it means.
Ukulele.
Movement gains speed. Ice slow down. Make useless.
Somewhat. It is not actually flying so much as it is just levitating. It cannot be able to move and still be able to move in the air. There are 3 weak points. Freeze. The eyes, the inside of the mouth, and the flesh exposed here.
On the neck, aye.
However,
Can you show the
in order
third
to
weak point
access
over
any
here?
of these points,
I couldn't see it from here.
move over to Isaac.
Oh, I see. Right behind the head. Got it.
Does the underside work too?
The underside
Yes,
not
it was
as
also armored.
exposed.
I already asked that, Theo. Listen up.
Mm. The gap is there, though. I see it.
That's what I was thinking.
Why that?
Keeping its jaw clamped. Keeping its jaw clamped is much, much easier than prying it open. However, both are possible.
So they're like alligators.
Additionally, do not expect cover to keep it from being able to get you. It can burst through walls or simply eat through them.
Naturally.
Fucking Kool-Aid man.
So you have
Oh
to do
yeah!
This time.
What's the expected turning speed of these? Can they turn on a credit, or is it once they're going forward, that's sort of where they're going?
They typically rush forward, and they'll gain distance before attempting to turn around.
So luring them into a wall, for instance, stun them for a moment, if they can't turn it effectively.
If you can get them to impact the wall, it may stun them for a single moment. However, their eyesight is not especially bad, and they may just end their rush early and turn. Scarlet and Scout.
I noticed that their scales are in folds. Is it possible to get armory beneath the folds?
While theoretically possible, it's incredibly difficult and it's never been done.
Ah. Oops, sorry.
Axel.
For lightning users, since that's their weakness, how quickly does it stun them if they are struck with lightning?
Not quickly. For the vast majority of casters, even experienced casters, it usually requires multiple casts. Attempting to kill them in one blow is very difficult. Mira.
I noticed they seem to have a set of nostrils. Do they have a dense sense of smell? One that we could abuse?
Possible. As far as I know, it's never been tried.
Might be worth a
They
shot.
typically use that as a sensing organ for expulsions of mana, along with blood. Scout.
So, I know you said they're very well armored. Would rounds from, like, say, a sniper or the piercing impact of a pick or a drill possibly get through?
In terms of arms, armored piercing is the best way to deal with them, ignoring all other magics.
Lightning armor piercing.
It is
Bragging!
somewhat blended together, but we will go ahead and move to the next section. How would you respond to this as a squad?
Never mind. Look behind you, Braggy.
Felix.
Question first. You said they have immense bite strength. What about the opposite? Is it
I did state that earlier. It is much easier to keep their jaw closed than to stop
see.
it from closing.
I suppose if you have one of your tanks to be able to grab it out of the air, keep it closed.
Yes, if you can. The vast majority of them, unless you weigh a significant amount, will just drag you with it as you are clenching its jaw closed.
Ride the dragon.
Degree.
One tactic to use would to be particularly mindful. Have those, at least one member, constantly clocking if one is in the area and calling out if it is about to charge, at which point the group should part, but come back together as soon as it passes, in case there are other enemies about to capitalize on it.
Yes. The vast majority of the wardens that died to a jaw shark did not know it was there or on the battlefield at all. But that strategy would work. The name was specifically chosen so that you knew what you were dealing with and where to focus. Its weakness and its strongest implement.
Ow! Fucking kicked my chair.
Now that we are in C classes, strategies for dealing with Magibeasts now require multiple classes working together in combinations. The typical strategy is to combine both a tank and a caster. Something that can accept its hits and the ability to actually damage it. There are exceptions to this, such as if you have lightning in large amounts, or if you have armor piercing. It will make it easier. Turn into a greater Frostfang.
Oh, what?
Greater? Did he say greater?
A Raider Frostfang.
There's a greater variant?
It is just behind you, I believe. Or yep.
You have already faced this.
That was what we found.
Okay. Okay.
What you have not faced are the lesser variants. Typically, this Magibeast is not actually alone. They have packs of lesser Frostfangs. They're much easier to deal with, but they will come in numbers.
Good old PTSD.
You have all already faced this. Tell me its strengths. Now.
It can cause the area to become a blizzard, making everything cold around it and giving itself an armor of ice. Makes it harder to break through.
Yes, there are multiple levels to its ice armor. Apply the first level.
Oh.
Its ice will build up. It can stay at this, or it can go to further levels. Apply the second level of ice armor. Apply the third level.
Okay.
It's just
This
a
is the
simulation,
full
Simon.
Frostfang. Walter.
If I remember correctly from when we fought them, they are very fast.
Yeah.
They are. Additionally, they are armored. That armor has multiple weaknesses, which I will get into. Axel.
Accompanied with its armor, it also uses it as a weapon, as it just shown there, to increase its range and lethality with its claws, as well as hiding a frost breath.
Yes. It is resistant to ice and water, and it is also additionally weak to fire and lightning.
It's coming up, Celestia.
Not to mention its durability with 3 layers of armor.
It has multiple abilities with its ice, as you can see. Additionally, and I believe you already have faced this in the keep, Enrage.
Yeah, I remember that.
Its aggression is heightened, and it loses a sense of pain. It will simply keep attacking.
I forgot what its name was in Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh. Quite the jump, you know.
Similar to the bird.
Yes.
Wonderful, just figuring out that. Yes, that is the whole thing.
From what you know, tell me its weaknesses.
fire. I think blunt.
Axel.
If engaged before it starts gaining its layers of ice armor, its capabilities are severely hindered as it relies on ice to increase its threat.
Yes. It is possible to keep it from going to the later ice stages if you can build up or break its ice buildup before it has reached another level.
You know what core needs to be? It needs to be a
Ideally, when facing these,
poison
you
core.
can keep it from ever reaching its max level. Degree.
The areas directly under the forelegs and the hind legs where they meet the torso. That has to stay supple for movement. Slashing or
Supple is
piercing can
such a weird
affect its
word.
speed. Or perhaps its accuracy with the slashes.
Yes. It still requires the ability to move, which means it is also still possible to restrict its movement. The underside of its body is much, much less armor.
There could be a potentially poison cores out there.
If it gets to
Probably
its
just
max
like
level,
rare
it
core
is
drops
easier
from
to
monsters.
access these points. However, it is also far more dangerous to get that close. Additionally, the inside of its mouth and its eyes, along with the inside of its ears, are still weak points. Bailey.
What about the bottoms of its feet and hands? Because, I mean, if it's got to have, like, those icy claws, then, you know, it might need to have, like, little pads to, I don't know, grip onto or something.
The actual hide of its feet and, yes, pads is still thick. It's weaker than the armor on the rest of its body, but it is still significant.
Right.
Felix.
You can actively predict its actions based on what stage it is in and if it's enraged.
Yes. That is the foremost advantage we have as wardens, is the ability to predict our enemies. Which is why the ability to understand how your enemy fights is one of the most important skills that you can obtain, which you can then apply to creating tactics and ways to get all of you out alive. Walter.
As it begins to build up ice armor, it becomes a lot more top heavy, which means you're able to knock it off balance a lot more.
Yes. Yes, it does. Additionally, when you successfully knock it over, lose the ice armor.
Oh.
There is a brief moment where it does not know what to do. It will simply flail after it has lost its ice armor. That is a significant
Very nice.
weak period
Very nice.
and should be capitalized on.
You love to see that.
You had a question, Uriel.
Was just answered, sir. My question was going to be, can the armor be taken off?
Yes. One of the best strategies for dealing with a greater frost fang is to have gunners actively remove hits ice as it builds it. It is harder to target than you would think.
Someone just aw.
Marcus.
Guess my work's cut out for me, huh?
Do you think predicting its dashes with a rock wall or rock formations for it to smash into would be a good way to get rid of its ice armor?
It will.
Beautiful.
It does not deal with forward impact.
When are Cowboy fans not crying? They're always crying.
One of them ran into me and lost its ice armor.
Okay.
The Greater Frostfang is a mid-Class C. If there are no other questions about it, we can get to the last Magibeast.
Oh. Good night, buddy.
Not a dog.
Looks like a puppy.
Professor. Scarlet has one.
Puppy that'll eat your face if you're not too careful.
Judging by its ears, it seems to be
Yes.
picking up quite a bit of sound. Is it very sound sensitive?
It is. It can focus. However, it can also be overwhelmed with significant noise. This can disorient it.
Are you gonna be so good for your team? Just start yelling out like, fuck you, bitch, son of a cock.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah, your team.
If there are no more questions, turn into an undying drake.
Fucking what?
I think I remember that. I'm sorry.
Why do I feel?
Is that the
I
thing?
feel like we've seen this one.
Oh,
no, never mind. Never seen
No.
that.
Huh.
Oh, nope, nope, not seen that thing before.
Oh, that's
This
a
is
long
not.
boy.
It is not an undying drake. The first word is undying, as in a water spirit.
Oh, undying.
Undyne. Ah, I see.
Typically, they're mostly just called drakes.
It's like a centipede.
Unlike the jaw shark, this is not levitating. It is actually flying through the air and can be brought down. It is not armored. However, it is swift and erratic, and it is hard to hit. It is completely immune to water, and it is resistant to dark. Its foremost ability. There is a poison building up along the outer sides of its body that will decay both skin and metal.
Poison cores, baby.
It decays anything but magisteel that comes in contact with it.
Sheathe the tool when those are present.
That's why it's dark.
Yes.
Its typical behavior is to sideswipe and apply the poison alongside its body directly against you and then drag it across you as it continues to hit others. It won't attack directly, but instead try and actually slide past you and hit as many as it can. Typically, it is more of a guardian Magibeast and can be found around nests of pods where it protects them.
Protects them from what?
If you encounter a large group of pods or anything resembling a nest, stay aware. It may
Like-
be above you.
The only thing out in the waste are more Magibeasts.
It can also get larger than this.
Of course it can.
Yeah, that makes sense.
From what you know, I would say 1 to a quarter extra of its current size.
Ah. Just only that.
From what you can see and what you know, tell me its additional strengths.
No.
Hickory.
If it is guarding a nest of pods, that means that there are also pods to deal with, ones who may evolve during the battle.
Yes, correct. If you are facing one of these, you will also be facing pods, and potentially other D-class. You will very rarely fight one of these purely alone. However, it does completely fight alone. It does not coordinate with any other Magibeasts. It is simply around the pods. Hickory.
Its length and flexibility means even if you have magistral gauntlets, to grapple it would be ineffective at best and sabotage to your own team at worst. It can still thrash.
Yes. Uriel.
If I had to guess, just like the last levitator, without any type of wings, it's kind of hard to take it down. And I'd assume it'd be able to carry you off if you were to latch onto it.
It would also rot your
It
hands.
can. It can. Restricting its movement is difficult. Restricting its movement is difficult. However, it is still possible. Evan.
More of something that I noticed since they're a little bit more slim, they're probably able to hide in nooks and crannies a bit easier, and things like cave roofs and the such. Especially when they're not glowing, they might be hard to see.
Typically, yes. Some part of them will also typically be visible. They may be roaming or they may be hidden. Both have been observed. From what you know and what you can see, tell me its weaknesses. Agree.
While its height is scaled, its flexibility implies that it is thinner than other Magibeasts we have seen today. I posit it could be possible that you can use its charge against it if you have a Magisteel blade.
Yes. Yes, you can. It is not especially armored, and it can be pierced. It is possible to lodge a blade into it and drag it along its side.
Time to get the old harpoon.
While its blood does not carry the same poison that builds up on the outside of it. You will also additionally collect a large amount of poison from that action. Once complete, I would heavily recommend repositioning. You may be standing in a pool.
That'd be kind of fun to have.
Again.
A follow-up question.
If if it's a student with a baseball bat, but then it had like
How long does it
a harpoon
take
gun in
for
it,
the built-up
like a single
poison
shot
to
harpoon gun,
disperse?
with
As
like a
there is
rope.
a active and inactive form.
It
I
is
think that'd be
less
kinda
that
fun.
it needs to actually disperse and more that it needs to be treated.
I meant the glowing and non-glowing forms. Should we treat it that the secretions are there all the time, or only when we see bright pink?
The secretions themselves only come out in significant qualities when it is pink. It is still there while it is inactive, but not in any significant quantity.
Okay.
Like a short range harpoon.
Lunale.
Aside from the poison, it doesn't have any other means of attacking, correct?
It still has a jaw. However, poison is its foremost weapon.
Meaning it can't do anything to you from afar.
No. It does not have any ranged capability.
It is a teaching aid.
Ukulele.
Water dilute, wash off poison, or make worse?
Water does help dilute it.
Can
However,
these corrosive
the best material for treating with its poison is, oddly enough, salt.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
We know what to bring.
Good to know.
However, that is much less effective than having a light-based healer. The poison is dark mana.
Got it.
There's where the resistance comes from.
Interesting. So I guess if you wanted a poison yourself, you want a dark core.
Given the way it attacks, its best means of hitting you is by bringing its face close to you, leaving it open to attack when it does so. It has a lot of sensitive whiskers and fins, along with its eyes.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Fireballs.
It is, even while not armored, it is still durable.
Sounds like poison's just dark
Getting
mana.
in good hits like that will not save you from not being poisoned. It will continue with its side swipe, even while in pain. Scarlet.
A question and an observation. How well is its eyesight?
I would say its eyesight is not especially good or bad.
If
Equivalent
I'm
to
observing
yours.
it. Understood. If
However-
I'm observing it correctly. I'm sorry.
No, keep going. I pause when I speak.
If I'm observing it correctly, possibly getting the ability to take off its antennas or its whiskers would help with getting it confused and being unable to move around as freely. Much like how
Yes.
cats are with their whiskers are.
It primarily uses its antenna for sensing mana. Once you get to a significant level
Been here for like
of Magibeast class,
2 hours.
all of them will have some form of sensing mana. This is primarily how they hunt. Sight is secondary to them. Evan.
Longer reach weapons like spears, longswords, bigger armed weapons like Bailey's arms would probably be best for redirecting them or moving them or hurting them without getting hurt yourself. The extra range might be enough, not to kill it, but maybe to move them away. Additionally, closer range gunner weapons like shotguns could also be very helpful since they can't necessarily move out of the way of all of the pellets.
Yes. Additionally, if you are using a larger reach weapon, the best tactic would be to plant it into the ground and brace. It is moving with significant force. If you do that, you can engage in the strategy that Dickory was suggesting, of having it rip itself apart against your blade. You have a question, Isaac?
I do, but you may have answered it indirectly. When they're charging you for wind users, could a concentrated burst of wind redirect it enough to evade an attack, at least for someone else? In this case being Hickory or Uriel's wind, since mine is more directed.
Yes.
Okay.
It is possible. However, it is also controlling its flight path the entire time. It will respond to it and simply go back to its original flight. It is very difficult to knock it off path and keep it off path.
Understood.
It will attempt to recover and simply go for the nearest person. At this level of Magibeast, high class C and above, it no longer becomes which class is best treated against them. Instead, it goes into two things: specific combinations of classes, and also the combination of elements and classes, or specific types of arms weapons. For this Magibeast, every single class is required. The only type of warden that has a significant advantage for
Sorry
the
to
entire squad
interrupt.
of dealing with this
Yeah.
is a light-based healer.
Thanks for the follow.
They will have a much easier time at counteracting its poisons, which can keep all of the other classes up to deal with the Magibeast.
Noted.
If there are no more questions, this lesson is concluded. You are all dismissed.
Thank you, Bragi.
How's it going, gaming?
Sir.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, sir.
That one's for you, and the rest are doing my job. At least for this day.
Quite all right, Simon.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Fellow candidates.
Yes.
It's a moment.
Yeah, I noticed that.
All of you, if you do not mind, moment of your time.
I don't mind.
For one, it's wonderful to see you all again.
Likewise.
But mainly, I'd like to ask and update the candidate roster, especially with the new teams and new team makeups. So, over the course of this week, come see me, and I'll put together the roster again and update the bestiary as well with everything we've learned today.
Nice.
Sound good?
He's such a champion.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Captain.
Been back
And
from
on the further
right back
notes,
in the thick of it.
squads, decide your captains, probably sooner rather than later.
When you're finished here,
And then we can all decide a warden general after that. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
I think we already have a warden general.
If you like, I will do it again. I want to make sure I have another opportunity, though, you know?
You have my vote.
Yeah, my
You're not getting a choice, buddy.
You're all so kind.
Kindness, yeah.
All right.
That's the point of it.
Tell him for me.
Is that all clear?
Yes, Captain.
Yes, sir.
We've all just
General.
Wonderful. Yes, sure.
about all this.
Dad.
Anything Fortis related. Please come get me, alright?
We have a lot of work to be done, huh?
Yeah. Our team's interesting, but looking forward to it.
We have a lot of fire and wind.
Did you die?
We should meet up with our
Yeah, we have
team.
two
What's our
ice.
team?
Yeah.
I don't think.
Let's just go.
What are we? We're Team Braggy. We have.
What's the result?
Yeah,
What
we
about
have
it?
Team Braggy.
So the
To the corner.
Interesting point.
quick answer.
Just record
The runes recorded. The spell I was casting.
So I
And
should be
then I
able
was
to
able
siphon
to
it
channel
off.
mine into it, and it repeated the spell without my arms involved at all.
It's always a little disconcerting seeing those things up close.
A spell charge.
Spell casting, yeah.
Indeed.
That's pretty useful.
And the new pod type.
I think that I'm cooking up my
Interesting.
much more possible since yours is accessible.
They are very troublesome.
Maybe
they're not move fast. During the scout mission to Underhome, we faced them, but I wanted to make sure. So, while Baldrus and Braggy head back to the situation of the Forgebreaker, we have to stay and try to tear down as many of their nests as possible. Surprising to me, and unfortunately, the information for you, and
We can set this up, Marcus. Could we do it out
with the situation that's happened over there, some of the pots are swapping from one element to another.
Maybe out in the
Adapting to the environment.
I feel like it's anything
More like being overwritten.
First thing. Correct.
It's not like I was
So are we? Hi. Are we figuring out who our captain is?
Let us hope there are not any further evolutions that we do not have knowledge of.
Yeah, just at least getting together for now.
No, I
Let
would
me
not
get
be
the
surprised.
team this way, please and thank you.
Oh. I suppose one can let them do their thing in here.
Where you want to meet your
I will go to my group.
Out of here and go to the harbor district, somewhere more in
Oh,
town.
we have groups.
Let's see.
I think that's a good idea.
Yes.
I think that's
Baldrus,
everybody.
Braggy, I,
Big
and
man,
Dusk
big man
have
must, dip
formed
now, but,
teams.
we'll find them later. We'll get them caught up.
Very good.
I'm gonna go switch out and then I'll
Let
meet
me
you
know if
there.
you need any help.
Sure thing. Yeah, harbor.
Harbor it is.
Alright.
Hayden, if you want to be around for this, we're going to the harbor district.
Again.
Understood.
I think I'll tag along with you.
Very well. Let's go to the harbor.
Have fun out there.
Those two I swore upon
And how goes your preparation, Simon?
Still working out some ideas. We have most of what we need for any containment vessels, though I suppose we will have to start accounting for any temperature-related environments. Also, is a bit concerning in that regard. The emissaries have been trying to work on some form of early warning system, but at the moment I'm having trouble finding a way to make anything compact enough to be practical.
We will have to move often and fast.
Can it be a quick report? I believe my team is conspiring.
It might also do you good to pack some...
Let's just go somewhere private quickly.
warmer clothing, and maybe something with a little bit of waterproofness. Can be difficult to find in this city. It's not cheap either, but see what you can find.
I've been trying to fiddle with some of the barometers that we have laying around to see if I could figure out a way to give it a boost, since last time they didn't fare too well.
Very good. Keep working at it.
Right.
We'll walk around real quick and see what the groups are up to.
I do have a particularly ranged fire spell I have been working on. And a
I'd consider me
blast
potentially
that is
flexible. Don't really have the
precursor
capacity
as I was developing it.
Might be able to do things with other elements. We're not sure yet. I mean, you
I
guys
don't know whether you can actually
come
come think of it.
It's just if we deal with that.
Sure.
There is evidence that whatever is happening in Vanderhall is changing the Magibeasts.
Won't be ready by Vanderhall.
If we're being paired for another another
Influence them.
my healing is more specialized on keeping you
Influencing them in some regard, either through the environment or something different.
greater wounds. So for that, if you guys get very injured, we may have to rely on another team.
Pack first aid.
I can
Lots of
still
first
do it,
aid.
but it'll take longer.
But the element types are
Everybody touch up on your first aid.
easily
otherwise.
predictable. Ice and water.
For those classes.
Yes.
I'm glad I've studied so
And
much.
of course the
It's gonna pay
dark
off.
poison.
That said,
We have
I
light
think you
users.
power off quite well with the tanks in that case, keeping them up.
I was curious.
Plan.
Do you believe light attacks would be strong against the dark dragon thing?
Alright.
It should, yes.
You know, hold on.
Be a bit more effective.
Let's separate by tuning real quick, because I'm not 100%. Tanks over with Rue, please.
Caster, fighter, tanks.
Will I be relying on
Support.
Professor
Two
Soliloquy for
specialists.
my repairs in the field?
Which is good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
In my case, as the gunner of the group, the idea that I will have is, I've already started channeling my first spell after my imbuement room was looked over by Hayden. Basically being a pressure round of sorts, a physical round being sent at a higher velocity. So, much more armor piercing than it is any sort of collateral damage like, I would say, Bailey, Hickory, things like that. And then if I have the time for it, a mobility spell to make myself move out of harm's way quickly, either ahead of me or further away in a moment's notice. But I can't do that too much, obviously, since it will take a lot of my mana to do so. Other than that, it will be a lot more of probably spotting for enemies from the rear line and telling you what's coming or what's being hidden, so that no one gets hit in the back line, I would say, like Uriel or Leon.
A question. Unless I am mistaken, we only have, of the group of us, there are 3 total that are able to attack at a ranged. You, Lunali, I am aware that your staff can fire ballistics as well. And then Milo as well. Is that correct, or am I mistaken?
Milo has no ranged capabilities to my knowledge.
My welding laser's kind of weak, and I don't know if I can do that beam again. So we shouldn't rely
Understood.
on that.
I was referring to the welding laser, but understood.
Yeah.
We haven't really tested it past the keep, really, of how effective it could be.
In the same vein, I have a sort of medium range in terms of the wind slashes I am able to send out.
Understood.
Yeah. We have a couple range components, but for the most part, I'll probably be taking the first line of defense for anything ranged, alongside Lunali if she's not busy. How much mana does that drain to swap from that to healing?
Not too much. The main limitation is that it is a single target focused healing. So if multiple are requiring it, I am not able to split my attention readily like Uriel would.
Does it take a significant amount of time to go between healing and ranged combat for you?
No. It's designed to quickly shift forms.
Would you primarily say that you'll be
helping with
continue? Would you say your primary focus will be at ranged then? More than healing if needed?
That is the goal, especially if the second spell ends up working the way that I am hoping to, if I can figure out the rune that I need to make it function properly.
Okay.
Light imbuement that fires out compressed light, but I am working on a way to design it so that if it strikes a magically conductive surface on somebody's person with the right rune, it inverts its effects and makes it restorative.
Okay.
Which would mean that it would be a way to patch heal people without necessarily needing to close a distance. Assuming everybody was comfortable with that necessary rune being inscribed upon something on their person.
Well, if it's gonna save my life, then sure. Let me know if, how that goes. Then in that case, it'll be up to myself. It'll be up to myself and Lunali to spot enemies, but it'll fall back to me if they become busy. Sounds fine to me, at least. You were already saying, Uriel, you have the medium-ranged wind spell. What else will you have at your disposal?
An alternative to that I currently have encoded thus far is the area of effect one as well. That one will be played from my ukulele, but it'll help protect me and possibly anyone right next to me from being swarmed. One that I
How long can you keep that up?
It's a quick knockback, but I'm able to do 1 or 2 in succession. After then, I need to rebuild some mana.
When it comes to the healing, how many times do you think you'll be able to do that? Or how long can you keep that up as well? Can you become a fallback point if needed for, like, Lunali, per se?
I would say so. For how many, I haven't really tested it out yet. One song usually takes it out of me a little bit, but hopefully by...
Is it simply a test that if we stood together and you just did it to see what happens, or do we need to be actively injured for this to be a test? Do you know?
Possibly the latter.
Okay.
Last time it had taken approximately 45 seconds to a minute, I believe, for it to elapse the entire duration of the song. It is not something we can do in combat, I believe.
Another downside of it is, what I have discovered is you have to be able to hear the song for it to take any effect. If for some reason you are deafened or your ears are ringing, it won't have any effect on you.
Okay. Well, thankfully nothing here is any sort of sound-piercing attacks. In that respect, at least, so that's good.
I believe no one was deafened
Just
by
don't
the
hit your
roars we
heads
heard
too hard.
earlier. Or were you affected, Axel?
I could hear it very clearly, but it wasn't loud enough to deafen me or anything.
That is a good point. What about you, Lunali?
It just hurt. Not deafening, but it's not pleasant.
Okay, we'll need to keep that in mind then.
Isaac?
Yes.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I will try.
Your group.
One question, actually, for both of the supports that are here. Do your healing, if you know, work on Forged? I know Leon's specializing on more in that route, correct, Milo? To help you specifically, since you're paired together.
Yes, I believe he is either successfully or is working on encoding.
Different ways to neutralize it, though, possibly.
Light magic seems to be the prevailing method.
Alright. Yeah, being able to explode those fuckers, that'll be really useful.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited. But then I'm thinking,
Trying to think of like other things because the shield takes up one of my spell slots. Luckily, the whip and the sword doesn't. So
Sure,
but I'm trying to think
same
of,
way.
like,
Excuse me?
I have a lot of boring paperwork to get through, Simon.
All right. I'll take a walk around town.
Keep on working at your whatever it is you're studying. We are making good progress on those translations, after all.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, I am just.
Or no, Dusk and Talus might say, but. My hip.
Bippity boppity boop.
Snake.
Shall we go try to make some money?
Let's go harass people for their money.
Let's go try to make money.
Hell yeah.
We're telling people that their
Watch
clothes
when I
are
get
off
voice
when they need to
ready.
buy ours. I don't know. Carmine.
Aren't the Carbillos like technically the tailors in town?
violent.
Yeah.
This is more Carmine's voice.
Cool.
Carmine
We're just NPCs for the day. We're
I went
just
into
being
great
assholes.
detail with this.
No, that's fine.
Give me your money. I'm
Hey,
enjoying
your clothes, they're bad.
Look,
Here's my card. that's the business pitch.
What? Is it pimp your grandpa time?
Yes. You see, the bald head looks great. The clothes don't.
Yes.
Here.
Burrito cutter.
And
Okay,
before,
You need
let's
a
go
hat.
harass people, call people
Tell me what
homeless.
Huh.
Okay. Where to? Where
There are
going?
no
We
hats
already
that fit me.
accidentally. We
there-
called one of the wardens homeless.
Most of the candidates are
It was
still
a
in
warden.
the
Nope,
inside the school.
it was
so
a
you
warden.
might have a. No, I'm just letting you know
it was
that
a
if you're
straight
trying to
up
harass
warden.
people, most of them
Yeah.
are still inside, but they'll probably be out
Yeah.
in the next like half hour or so.
That's fine.
Have fun in there. I'm
It just
fucking
means we can
tired,
mess with
so
Zen.
pacing out. See
They
you
are
guys.
currently in the town square chilling party.
See you, Imagine.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, my eye has been twitching a lot, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to get some sleep earlier tonight, and maybe make that stop. Yeah, what you guys go wherever it is you need to. Hopefully we'll be back with more RP stuff throughout the next week. Sorry, today was a little bit boring. But as I said, like we at least got that little morning thing in. I wasn't going to that wasn't planned. I just kind of was like, what if we showed dementia, so he went kind of into an episode where he was like, he thought he was a student, back like 40 years ago. So that was fun. Because old man gotta be old man, right? All right, we'll do hopefully some more RPing throughout the next week. We might be doing some NPCing on Friday. Hopefully we'll have a lobby on Thursday, although it's Halloween, so I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Go. I'm gonna go. I feel like I'm blabbering. Goodbye.